All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about something that's, well, a huge step up for any data scientist looking to become a real ML engineer. We're moving away from those messy, it works on my machine notebooks and learning how to master project configurations. This is how you make your code solid, repeatable, and actually ready for the real world. So let's do this.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever opened up one of your old notebooks or maybe inherited one from a colleague, and it just feels like a complete black box? You know what I'm talking about? Numbers just scattered everywhere. You have no clue what they mean, why they're there, and you're terrified that if you touch anything, the whole thing will just fall apart.
And this is the culprit, right here. A line like test size is equal to 0.2. We call this a magic number because it's just there. Poof, no explanation. And hey, one of these might seem okay, but when your code is full of them, it becomes a nightmare. You want to try a different test split? Well, good luck hunting down that one specific line. You want to run, say, 5 different experiments. Oh, you're in for a world of manual copy-pasting and a ton of mistakes.
Okay, section 1, the problem with magic numbers. Let's really dig into why this approach is just broken.
So what's the solution? Well, the pros use something called configurations, or configs for short. I want you to think of these as a centralized dashboard for your entire project. All your important settings are right there in one place. You're basically separating the what from the how, and this gives you this incredible flexibility to change things on the fly without ever having to touch your core code.
Here's my favorite analogy for this, and it really clicks for a lot of people. Configurations are like a universal remote control for your code. I mean, think about it. Your code is the TV, right? It's got all the complicated stuff inside that makes the picture show up. The config file, that's your remote. You don't have to rip the back off the TV and start messing with wires just to change the channel, do you? No, you just press a button. That's what configs do. And the payoff here is just huge. Seriously, your code becomes super flexible. Want to try a new dataset? Just change a file path in the config. Running a new experiment? Tweak a few parameters. And maintenance? It's a dream. Everything is in one spot. It's also way friendlier for your teammates who might not want to dig through your code. And of course, the big one. It gets rid of those magic numbers for good. Everything gets a clear name, a clear purpose. No more guesswork.
All right, section 2, let's talk about what actually goes on this remote control. What are the things we should be configuring? You can pretty much break it down into 3 common sense groups. First up, you've got your data processing stuff. Things like shuffle or test size. Then you've got the really fun part, the model parameters. This is all your hyperparameter tuning, like n estimators or max depth. And finally, you have your execution settings. This is about how the code runs, your batch size, your epochs, that kind of thing.
And look, getting started is super simple. You can literally just make a Python file, maybe call it config.py, and start defining your variables. So for data processing, you'd have your shuffle, your test size. But wait, look at that last one, random state. This one is so important. This is the secret sauce for reproducibility. By setting this, you guarantee that your train test split is the exact same every single time you run the code. That's non-negotiable if you want to compare experiments fairly.
And it's the same exact idea for your model parameters and execution settings. Just lay them all out. Now, by having them all in one place like this, you unlock something amazing. You can stop changing these values by hand. Instead, you can write a simple script that loops through different config files, one for each experiment you want to run. See? This is how you level up from just manually poking at things to systematically optimizing your models.
Okay, section 3, tuning your tools. So it's not just about your code. You can also tune the tools and libraries you use every day. So what's the difference between a config and an option? It's actually pretty simple. Configs control your project, your logic, your models. Options, on the other hand, control the libraries you use, tools like Pandas or Matplotlib. Let's go back to that ship analogy. If configs steer the ship, options are for adjusting the dials on your compass and maps to make them easier to read. Both are important. And trust me, you'll want to bother with this. Why? Because the default settings are, well, they're not always great. Come on, how many times have you printed a pandas data frame and it just hides half the columns with those stupid dots? Or you make a plot with Matplotlib and it's the size of a postage stamp? By setting these options, you're just making your life easier and making sure you can actually see what's going on in your analysis.
Check this out. Here's the fix for pandas. You can make another file, maybe options/pandas.py, and just add these 2 lines. Boom. You've just told pandas to show you up to 100 rows and 100 columns every single time. No more truncated data. It's such a simple little change, but it saves you so much headache.
Same deal for Matplotlib. That default figure size is way too small, especially if you need to put it in a presentation. So with just 1 line of code, you can set a new, better default. From now on, every plot you make will start out bigger, clearer, and just more professional. It makes a huge difference.
Okay, let's bring it all home. Section 4, the final step. Because look, this whole thing, using configs, setting options, it's not just about being neat. It's a fundamental shift in how you think. This is you moving from being a scientist who writes a script for one experiment to an engineer who builds a system that can run any experiment. It's a big deal.
So here's your playbook, your roadmap to making this happen in your own projects. It's 5 simple steps. First, identify all those magic numbers hiding in your code. Hunt them down. Second, centralize them. Put them all together in a config file. Third, implement it. Actually import that config and use the variables. Fourth, tune your libraries. Set those pandas and matplotlib options to make your life easier. And finally, step 5, execute. Run your experiments knowing they're now flexible, scalable, and, the most important word of all, reproducible.
And that's pretty much the whole shebang. So I'll leave you with a question to take with you. What's the very first thing you're going to pull out into a config file in your next project? Is it going to be the test size, that crucial random state, or maybe your model's max depth? Whatever it is, just starting is the most important part. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.